it's Tiana, and today I'm going to be sharing 10 things that you are doing that cause acne breakouts. So I hope you enjoy. So today I'm going to be sharing 10 things that you are doing that actually cause acne breakouts. Things you might not realize or think about that you do every day that are actually making your acne worse, causing acne breakouts, or just inflaming your skin in general. So let's get started. So the first thing is you never clean your cell phone. This is a problem because dirt and debris stack up on your cell phone, and if you're putting that against your face, then you are putting dirt and debris against your face, and if you're on the phone for any prolonged period of time, then you're actually like forcing that debris into your pore, you're holding it against your face with all that bacteria, and it's actually causing acne. So the best solution for this is to keep like disposable phone wipes on hand, or you can also use lens cleaner. Just make sure it's safe for use on cell phone screens beforehand, just to be sure. But if all else fails, you can just use like a dusting cloth. Like the antibacterial ones can clean pretty decently. It's not as good as a wipe, but it's better than nothing. Number 2, you never wash or clean your pillowcases or blankets or sheets. This is a problem because you sleep on your pillowcase. Obviously, like probably most people sleep on their side like this. And also, you know, some people pull the blankets up to like where their chin line is or above their chin if they're like one of those people whose noses get cold at night. And you know, if you sleep without a pillow and you end up like with your face on the actual sheet, then that can present issues too. This is a problem because over time your sheets and your pillowcases collect dirt and debris. They collect like you're sloughing off dead skin all the time. I know it's like sounds gross, but it's like something we don't realize that's happening, you know, constantly as our skin is renewing itself. I think it's every 30 or 60 or 90 days, depending on your age and depending on like, you know, your own genetics. But you're sloughing off all this dead skin, you're getting dirt on your body. If you don't shower every day and you're going to bed, then you've got dirt on your sheets now, you've got dirt on your pillowcase. And just as a natural process too, like if you have skincare and you don't wait for it to completely dry before you go to bed and you roll onto your side, then all of a sudden you have face oil on your pillowcase, that's gonna attach to any dirt that's in the area. So it's really important to like rotate those out. I rotate my pillowcases maybe once every 3 days. I know that seems like a lot, but I have really like very sensitive acne prone skin, and so I'm just very careful about how long I use the pillowcase for. The sheets are a little bit different. I do those once every 2 weeks, and blankets once a month, depending on how often I'm using them or whatever. If like it's hot and I'm sweating, you know, I mean, just use common sense in these areas, but these things will make a big difference, especially the pillowcase one makes a huge difference. To just keep an extra pillowcase or an extra few pillowcases throughout the week and just swap them out. Every 3 days is pretty reasonable, I think. I know there are some people who like will do it every day, but I'm not that religious about it. But every 3 days is pretty manageable for me, and it's something I really don't have to think about now. That has Number 3, you use the same washcloth to cleanse your face every time you wash your face, and you never change it out or use anything else. Or you use the same washcloth and then wipe the counter. I know that sounds really like common sense, like maybe you're sitting there thinking like, Tiana, I know, like I would never do that, that's retarded. But I used to do that. I was that person that would wash my face, dry my face with the towel, and then be like, oh, there's water everywhere, let me just wipe this up really quick. And it wasn't until my friend like grabbed my hand and he was like, whoa, what are you doing? That I actually realized like, oh shit, I just dried the dirty counter with the same washcloth that I had washed my face with. It's just terrible. It makes so much sense why I had really bad acne in high school. But yeah, you might not be thinking about it. Like sometimes we're on autopilot and we just don't realize like, oh shit, I am fucking up my skin and it's all my fault. But anyway, a way that I combat this is I have one washcloth that's specifically dedicated to wiping my counter, because water does tend to, you know, gather around the outside of the sink, especially if you have one of those weird faucets that just doesn't like land right, or if you're somebody that splashes upward, it's gonna get everywhere. That's a normal thing, so just keep an extra one on hand, so that way you can wipe the counter, and then keep another washcloth on hand as dedicated, dry your face washcloth. And then I swap those out once every 3 days, same kind of like my pillowcase, just to make sure that there's not like a huge buildup of debris, because like what happens is eventually if it gets dirty, you need to wash it. It's just like a blanket or pillowcase or your clothes. And you know, when that stuff builds up and you keep using it and using it, eventually you're just putting dirt back on your skin that you just cleaned. So it's counterproductive. So that is something that I do. You can buy really cheap sets of washcloths at like Target or Walmart or wherever you shop. I buy mine at Target, and I think I pay like $7 for a pack of 6 or something. So it's pretty affordable to do, and you know, you just wash the load as it goes on, and it should be enough to last you the week. So you don't have to like, you know, wear yourself out washing all these towels or anything. It's not that drastic, but it will make a big difference in your skin. Number 4, you constantly touch your face. Okay, I know that this seems like a really obvious one, but it's one that I still struggle with just because I'm like one of those twitchy, like fidgety people. And I just tend to be like a picker. Like I'll pick at my skin if I have a breakout. I just want to touch it. I want to touch it. I want to touch it. I can't, you know, a lot of times I'm like, I have to physically like just have this incredible willpower and like self-awareness of just telling myself that I should just not fucking touch my face. And the big problem with this, if you may not know about touching your face, is that your fingers, they actually have quite a bit of oils that gather there, and also your hands. You're touching everything. You're touching the doorknob, you're touching your car door, you're touching the wall, you're touching the stairwell, you're touching literally everything. Every dirty countertop. I mean, your hands, they get around. That's why you gotta wash your hands to prevent sickness. This is like, you know, basic stuff, but we probably don't think about how that translates to our face. So, you know, it might not seem like a big deal to just like pick at your face or touch your whatever, but it actually does transport that dirt. So it's important to be a little mindful about not touching our face with our hands, because these guys are getting around like the horse that they are. Number 5, you are using pore clogging hair products and or you're sleeping in those products. And what I mean by that is like if you, let's say you use gel or hairspray or mousse or pomade or any of those products in your hair, right? That's all fine and good. But let's say you don't wash your hair that day and you go and you lay on your pillowcase, and now all of a sudden your skin is laying in your hair products. And if those hair products tend to be abrasive, then all of a sudden they're clogging your pores because you're laying on that same pillowcase. And I know this because like I don't really use a whole lot of products on my hair, but I would notice that on the days that I used like hair serum or this was before I started using Green Beauty, so keep in mind these are not clean products, like those oily hair serums that use like petroleum oil or whatever, or mineral oils. You know, I'd be using those heavy oils, and then I'd be using like, you know, drugstore cheap shampoo or whatever, and mousse and stuff like that, and heavy conditioners, and I would be sleeping on that, and that would give me breakouts. And I know because I would get them right here along the hairline, or sometimes back here around the nape of my neck, like where my hair, like my hairline ends or whatever, and that can cause some serious breakouts. So I know it's something we don't think about again, but it's something to be mindful of, that maybe you want to use cleaner products, like gentler products, or maybe just don't use hair products before bed or shower, you know, if you've used a lot of hair product that day. The other option too is to put your hair in a bun, like a high bun or high ponytail, or to braid your hair so that it's out of the way and it's not getting in your face and it's not getting on your pillow. At least as best that you can. You know, we do the best that we can, and that's, you know, the best you can do or whatever, but that will definitely make a big difference, especially if you're the kind of person that's getting breakouts here. Number 6, you are using too many products, or you're overexfoliating, or both. What this means is you're stacking product after product after product on, and it's creating a problem because you're using like retinols with vitamin C, or you're like using something that has like glycolic acid in it, or like a pumpkin or fruit enzyme in it that's supposed to brighten, and then you're using another brightening product and another brightening product, and you get what I'm saying here. Too much exfoliation can be a bad thing for your skin. It shocks your skin and it just irritates. And especially if you have more sensitive skin or you have acne breakouts happening, it can just create like a recipe for disaster. Your skin does not want to be stripped constantly, and it will create more oil, and it will become inflamed and red and dry and peeling and all the things we don't want when we use too many products, or we're just over processing. You know, it's kind of like over dyeing your hair or over bleaching your hair. Like, yeah, it can be a cool thing to get the color you want, but inevitably you're using too much of it, you're gonna fry your hair and your hair is gonna fall out. So you want to keep your skin routine limited in the sense that it has a purpose, or at least stagger your products, you know, off day or whatever you're doing. So that way you are actually getting the effects that you want and the results that you want from your skincare products, but you're not over exfoliating to the point of irritating your skin. So that is another thing. And also using overly abrasive skincare scrubs and like those like toners that are like exfoliating toners, like brightening toners or whatever. Just be mindful of how often you're using these. Maybe you're using it too much. Maybe you're using something that's just not working for your skin. And that's something that you definitely want to keep in mind that might actually be causing breakouts. Okay, number 7 is you eat too much junk and or sugar and or dairy. Not everyone is sensitive to this stuff, so it's really kind of like hit and miss. You need to kind of figure out, like, test your own body, you know? Remove dairy from your diet for a week and see what happens. Is your skin clearer? Are you like feeling better? Because, you know, some of those things might happen. Are you like having less breakouts? Are your breakouts healing? I mean, these are things to look out for, because dairy and sugar, like too much sugar if you have a sweet tooth, I know I do, and that's something I know I have to like reel in because it can cause major issues for me. And also just eating junk, like too many fried foods, all this stuff, it's not necessarily, well, at least in my opinion, it's not necessarily that it's like fried. It's just that it's so processed. It's so processed beyond the point of being a whole food that your body actually has a hard time processing all these oils, and all these things going through your body are just not necessarily good for you. And of course, that's gonna show up on your skin. So it's important to keep in mind and limit the fried foods and the oily, like overly oily foods, you know, unless there are good oils that your skin's gonna be happy about, because good oils can be a great thing to help heal acne, like fish oil and plant oils and olive oil and coconut oil, and even like refined ghee, as long as you're okay with dairy, and like clarified or grass-fed butter can be okay, as long as, again, you don't have an adverse reaction to dairy. But these are things to keep in mind about how things are affecting your body and how they're affecting your skin. Which brings me to number 8, you consume too much dairy. I know a lot of people maybe don't think about this, but maybe you're the kind of person that loves your like glass of milk every day, or like several glasses of milk. I know tons of people like that who just drink milk more than they drink water, which I personally have never understood. I'm not a big dairy person, but there it is. Some people love their milk, and some people love their cheese, and they like want to have cheese all the time, and that's great. But if you're the kind of person that dairy really affects your skin, there are 2 things you can do. You can limit the amount of cheese and dairy that you have in your diet, which I think personally everyone should do. You know, having processed and dairy foods can be detrimental to your health as well as your skin. But I think also, you know, we should be realistic about this stuff, because everybody enjoys these things, you know? I mean, to say, oh, I'm never gonna have some sweets again, or I'm never gonna have dairy again, is just kind of insane to me. I just think it's not a balanced way of thinking. So a better thing to do is to choose cleaner options. So choose cheeses that have been, you know, created with grass-fed dairy products, grass-fed from grass-fed cows or goat, or like whatever the cheese is from. You know, so to preserve that like cleaner ingredient, you know, and I think those things can really help, you know, if you're getting it from small batch and it's sustainable and it's not been processed to death, so it is actually in its purest form, it will have less of an adverse reaction, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor, so if you have some kind of dairy allergy, or you know, you can't do cheese, then, you know, maybe that's something personal. Like, everybody is different, everybody's genetics are different, everybody is affected differently by these things, but these are the things that have helped me. And also, like, replacing just, you know, using a lower, you can use like lactose-free milk instead if you still want to like enjoy your milk. I use almond milk and coconut milk. I've personally never been big on milk, so I'm not like the best person to talk about milk replacements, as I've never been really big on like regular milk in the first place. But you could also go to like 1%, you know, instead of your full fat milk or whatever, and that might make a big difference for you. So just play around with it and see what works for you and how it affects your skin. Number 9 is that you stress too much. You stress about everything at work, you stress about everything at home, you stress about your day, you stress about your friends. You are at a constant 100, like level 100 stress, and that shit fucks your skin up. I know that people don't think about this, but it's like if you're constantly taxing your system and you're overdriving it with like anxiety or like just constantly feeling that pressure and you never take a moment to relax, your body feels it. And stress can kill you. Stress can cause disease. It can cause illness. It can, age your skin faster, and it can cause breakouts. So it is very important that you're getting stress relief in whatever way helps you, through essential oil therapy, like aromatherapy, through working out and relieving that stress physically, through meditation and yoga and fueling your body with natural whole foods. All of these things can make a big difference. And also getting enough sleep. That is a huge big one. So keep these things in mind and how they're affecting your skin. And number 10 is you don't get enough sleep. This goes without saying, but your body is not going to function at its optimal potential if you are not getting like 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Everybody's different. Some people can function really well on 6. Some people can function, really well on 7, and some people are like, nah, I need full 10. That is totally up to you and your body and how it makes you feel. But it's important to get enough hours of sleep so that your body can fully repair. When we sleep, our body, turns our cells over and helps, boost our immunity. We're fighting off disease. We're fighting off, whatever common cold flu is going around at the time. We're helping to repair, any injuries that we have, any acne that you have, and fighting off free radical damage. So that's why it's great to fuel your body as much as you can with the things that are going to help it repair more efficiently, and the products that you use on your face to be clean, non-toxic, and as natural as possible, obviously. So that way you can, give your skin what it needs to feel its best as well. But all of these things are going to work in conjunction with each other. So it's really important that you actually make an effort to have a well-rounded routine and approach. Those are my 10 things you do that are causing acne breakouts. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any other questions about acne, please feel free to leave me a comment below. Also check out the link below where I've written a blog post on this exact same topic, and I've probably elaborated in a different way than I did here, just because I wrote that post a couple years ago, but it's still very relevant. A lot of people find it very helpful, so if you want more information, feel free to go there as well. There's also a list of products linked below for different skin issues that you might be dealing with if you do currently have acne or acne scarring or redness or any kind of inflammation, that work really well for me and the products that I love most. So definitely check those out in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like and leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.